Hey, honey,
Yes, Barry?
let's get out of here.
Where are we going?
Where do we always go?
Fascina el viento, este ritmo de palmas, sin mi naturaleza, hasta encontrar la playa. Por eso grito al mundo, yo soy de Puerto Vallarta. Samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de arrullo en el mar. Samba de Puerto Vallarta.
Hello, fellow travelers, and welcome to this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. I'm your host, Barry Kessler, and I'm just so happy to be introducing you to my favorite vacation destination. Maybe it's even yours, and that's Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. That music you were just listening to is performed by Alberto Perez, and Alberto is the owner of the Lapa Lapa group of restaurants. Those are the Lapa Lapa, the El Dorado Beach Club, and at night for dinner, the El Dorado Beach Club transforms into the ever-so-romantic Vista Grill with those dramatic views of the Los Muertos Pier, all lit up at night in beautiful colors. And of course, at Lapa Lapa, you can enjoy that same view of the Los Muertos Pier all day long for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, seated with your toes in the sand right at the water's edge. It's so romantic. It's so Puerto Vallarta, my friends. This week, I have a very special interview with Sylvie Scopazzo. She's an expat from Canada who has a really, really great story. But first, before we get to Sylvie, let's find out what's happening this week in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, March 14th, 2018. Listen, don't forget that Puerto Vallarta has a art walk every Wednesday in the downtown area of Puerto Vallarta. There is something called the Art Walk. It goes from 6 o'clock until 10 o'clock, and it starts every year at the end of October. It goes all the way through the end of May, and there are 13 galleries that participate, and the way you do it basically is, because it's not a guided tour, it's a self-guided tour, so you can get a map, you can download one and go to their website, download the map, or you can actually go to any of the participating galleries. They'll have a map as well that you can grab. And what you do is you guide yourself through this tour. It takes you to galleries that are down in the downtown area and tells you where to go, and it gives you kind of a little path that you can follow, so it makes it easy so you don't go, jumping here and there and whatnot. But you get to go inside of these places and say hello and look at their beautiful artwork. A lot of times they'll have some wine for you to drink or whatever. They'll maybe tequila, I don't know. Sometimes they have little tapas and things like that. And they let you wander through their galleries. You don't have to feel bad, you don't have to feel shy because it's a special night. And they expect you guys to be there to walk through the galleries. And it's a good chance for you to walk around downtown. The streets are pretty flat. The area that they have you walking around in is not hilly. The hilly part is just a couple of streets up the hill. But you can definitely do it. It's very walkable. And just make sure you watch your step. Don't drink too much of that tequila or wine or whatever it is and fall down and break a limb or something like that, okay? But anyway, you want to go ahead and check it out. If you want more information, just go to my show notes at www.puertovallartatravelshow.com or just go to vallartaartwalk.com, www.vallartaartwalk.com. I have a link to the event as well as to their Facebook page, so check it out when you're in town. And remember, when you are there, if you're going to stop by there, go and see Gary Thompson over at Galleria Pacifico. Tell Gary that I say hello. And if you haven't had a chance to listen to the episode where I go along with Gary on his Malecon sculpture tour, remember that is every Tuesday morning during the high season. And he actually is doing a sunset tour right now on Thursday evenings, I think beginning at 6 o'clock as well. So say hello to him and thank him for all of his hard work. and maybe go on one of his tours while you're there, or buy something at his gallery. But go on one of those tours of the Malecon sculptures, and at the end, he always asks for a donation for the Library Los Mangos, Biblioteca Los Mangos, over in Puerto Vallarta. So you want to go ahead and you want to check that out. Okay. Today is a very special day on my calendar. You can mark your calendars if you want to, too. I'm kidding. 31 years ago today, I asked my lovely wife, Debbie, to marry me in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. We were at a restaurant called La Casita up on Panama, up in the 5th of December neighborhood. And I told you the story before. I got on my knee. She said yes. She cried. We had a wonderful meal. All was good. And if you don't remember that story, you want to read about it, you can read all about it on my website. You go to the PV Stories page on the website and check it out. I have pictures that I took last January of the place that it had to close down in part because, well, they lost that killer view. Some condos were built right in front of this beautiful restaurant. Oh, well. Anyway, check out the pictures in the show notes. And happy anniversary, Debbie. Happy anniversary. And speaking of Debbie's, last week I had a wonderful conversation with Isabel Minore from Casa Isabel. And I needed some pictures of the casa in the daytime. And I reached out to my buddy Debbie Murray from Canada, because I know that she has stayed at Casa Isabel, because I know that her lovely daughter Tessa has a thing for the chef there. He's really cute. So is she. Anyway, I asked, and she came to my rescue, and so did Isabel. So I got some great pictures from you, Debbie, and Cheap Debbie. You guys know her as Cheap Debbie. Anyway, Debbie, you are my hero. Thank you so much. Check out the podcast if you haven't heard it, and check out the pictures in the show notes for last week's episode if you haven't seen them yet. Okay, I have a note from a listener, Patty, who writes, "Hi, Barry. First of all, we really enjoy your podcast." Oh, I like that, Patty. Thank you. Thank you so much. I like it when they say that. They're very helpful for our latest trip to PV. We've been going there for about 25 years now, and I just got back from our most recent trip. My husband had some sandals made at Jour Fabiola, a place we highly recommend. Took about a week, but it was worth the wait. We have made many friends over the years, including two of yours, Gary Beck and Carmen from El Arian. Next time you're down there, go to El Brujo, which is on the south side. Best bang for your buck. We're planning our next trip for February 2019. Maybe we can catch a live podcast if you're there. Take care, Patty Duffy. All right. Well, Patty, we'll see if we can get together in February. I'd love to do that. And Huaracheria Fabiola is a great tip, Patty. Now, listen, you guys. They already have ready-made sandals there. But if you want custom-made sandals, they'll do it there for you. Just remember, don't rush them, okay? Get there early. Get it, first day of your trip or second day of your trip. And give them at least a week. Really, they do a great job. And thank you, Patty. Thanks for all those tips. Anyway, El Brujo has been there a long, long time. And I'm going to have to stick my head in there or my whole body in there or something and check this place out. Just another eatery to add to my long list. You guys know how that goes. Those of you who have been to Puerto Vallarta, you make a list. And man, it's so hard. It's so hard to get to them all. Anyway, speaking of tips, you know how to reach out to me, you guys. It's at the top of my webpage. Over at the website, you go to the Contact Us tab and send me a message. It's just as easy as that. So thank you again, Patty. That easy. Now, when I asked my listeners and my buddies on the TripAdvisor forum what they wanted to hear, I got a lot of answers. I got a lot of suggestions, and many, of course, were for someone I'm going to be introducing to you in just a few minutes. But one that I got several for was for Moises Guardado Jimenez. And Moises runs a place called Señor Talavera. It's a shop that you'll find on the corner of the Encino Hotel at Hidalgo Street and Calle Encino. It's along the Quale River. It's a beautiful spot. And in fact, if you walk across from his shop over to where the river is and you look up in the trees right above the river, you can spend some time spotting iguanas. It's kind of fun. And it's a great place to do that. But I love Moises' shop. Among other Mexican folk art that he has, Moises specializes in Talavera ceramics from the Hernandez family. Now, just a little bit of a background about Moises. He actually started in the hospitality business as a waiter in restaurants in Guadalajara and other cities around the area, including finally down here in Puerto Vallarta. His last stop in the hospitality business was a place called La Dolce Vida. You know it, it's on the Malecon. And he worked there for about 6 months. Then he landed a job up at a place called Pacific Jewelry, also in the Malecon, and many of you people know about that place. Then in 2003, Moises saw a help wanted sign at a shop at the corner of Hidalgo and Encino, La Talavera, and he went to go work there. And after 3 years working there, it was time to move on. He wanted a managerial position somewhere. And so he asked his boss if he could, he told him he was getting ready to quit. He needed to get out of there. He needed to find a different kind of job, something that would give him a challenge. And he wanted a managerial position. And so his boss looked at him and said, stick around for a week, just one more week. And after that week, if you're still here, I have a plan for you. So he gave it a week, and the owner proposed a partnership after that week. And so in 2006, Moises became a business owner, from waiter to businessman. Pretty nice. So now he is in charge of all the operations there. He restocks it, he does the buying, pays the bills, he hires the help. He runs the place with his silent partner. And he has a wonderful business. If you look at the reviews of his place, you'll see that he really knows how to make people happy. He knows how to please his clientele. You can see that he's been in the hospitality business and he's had some training with each and every transaction that he does. He's not pushy, doesn't jack up the price, to make a bargain or whatever it is. He's got a system. You'll see what it is. But I have to tell you, I really love his place. I've always enjoyed shopping at his place. He's got great items, and he's got a great story. All right, so let's talk about what is Talavera pottery. Talavera pottery only comes from one town of San Pablo del Monte and the cities of Puebla. Now, because of the quality of the natural clay that's found in that area, the tradition of production goes way back to the 16th century. Much of the pottery you'll recognize it's white with blue, kind of a cobalt blue colors, but colors such as yellow and black and green and orange and mauve, they've also been used, they've been introduced, because there's a lot of pressure, especially on people who try to copy the Talavera designs, like the Chinese. And, along the way, there have been lots of people that have tried to duplicate and tried to copy this particular design. Now, I have a YouTube video that shows how they make the Talavera pottery. It's really cool. They basically take this clay, which they mix and do all this good stuff to, and they pour it into these molds, clean off the molds. They dip them. Then they take them and they let them sit out in the sun. Then they dip them in this glaze, this white glaze, which is what they're known for. And and paint them and do all this really cool stuff. If you want to check out all these different techniques, you just want to go to my website and look at the YouTube video that I have there. It's really neat. But a little bit of the history, the Moors actually brought this kind of design, this Islamic pottery design, to Spain. And of course, the Spanish craftsmen there also adopted that and added their own designs as well. Italians, believe it or not, also incorporated their own craft, which evolved this kind of pottery. And then, about the same time, the pre-Hispanic cultures had their own tradition of making pottery and ceramics. They didn't use a potter's wheel. They used these kind of molds. Now, there's several theories as how this was introduced to Mexico, but the most common one that was accepted is that monks who sent for artisans from Spain to come and help them build their new monasteries actually introduced it into the area as well. They taught the indigenous artists to produce the glazed pottery. And from about the time that Puebla, the city of Puebla, was founded in 1531, wow, that was a long time ago, you guys, a large number of churches and monasteries were being built. And the demand for tiles to decorate the buildings, plus, having all this great clay in the area, really gave rise to this industry, which produced this fantastic Talavera Poblana, is what they called it. They distinguished it by calling it that from the Talavera pottery from Spain. And by the 1550s, by 1550, I should say, the city of Puebla was producing high-quality Talavera wares, and by 1580, it became the center of production in Mexico. They actually went about doing things because there were so many that decided that they were going to go ahead and get into the business. They decided to create standards and guilds and actually passed ordinances that would regulate how certain craftsmen could make the Talavera, what kind of clay could be used, and the kind of cobalt blue kind of paint that they used, the markings, and so forth. And then, of course, all the pieces needed to be signed, and so they could be identified as being the real thing. During the Mexican War of Independence, there was a problem because, the 17th century ordinances were abolished, allowing basically anybody to make ceramics any way that they wanted to do. And that led to a decline, of course, in this particular kind of production because anybody could make it. There were a lot of counterfeits being made, and, that's what happened. So out of the 46 workshops that were producing in the 18th century, there were only 7 remaining after the war. So there was a struggle keeping this particular craft up and alive. But it is still alive and it is still well. And if you want to learn more about what goes on here and the Talavera pottery, why go to my website and check out the links that I have to the very interesting articles about the history of this beautiful art. So let's go right now to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and let's talk with my friend, and now your friend, Moises Guardado Jimenez, or you know him as Señor Talavera. All right, I am in Puerto Vallarta, and I am with Moses here. Moses, what's the name of your place?
Señor Talavera.
And Señor Talavera, how long have you been at Señor Talavera? How long have you had this place?
17 days, one day at a time counting.
Oh, 17 years, you mean?
17 years.
Oh, yeah, because 17 days, yeah, yeah. All right, so 17 years. Wow, okay, same place?
Same place, buddy, same place.
Okay, so my listeners, they told me to come and see you. And why is that? Why is it they want me to see you? What do you sell here that they like so much?
We have one of the largest selections of beautiful handcraft from all over the country. But main reason why people they always come to my place is to look our beautiful inventories that we have of Hernandez Talavera. That is the reason.
Hernandez Talavera. Okay, and that is what's behind you there?
It's what you got behind me, and I think have a permanent deal of 50% off in my store. It makes me very demanded with the new tourists and clients that we have at the store.
Now, you have the prices marked on everything here, so that also, I think, reassures them that, you're not starting at some place and, you're going to chase them down the street and say, wait, right?
No way. But it happens, We got a lot of people that do not trust in the system, do not trust in a discount. But once they go somewhere else and then they compare things that we got here and they see them on other places, they run away back here and says, Moses, you were right.
That's right. All right. So I'm going to have pictures of all of these beautiful things in Moses' shop. I also noticed that you have this huge roll of bubble wrap behind you there. So I'm guessing you take care of them too, making sure everything gets home safe?
I think so far the main point is that do not make just a sell to people. Try to guarantee them that when they unpack the stuff back in home, they have them on one piece. I think that's my challenge, and I think I will be doing greatly.
Wonderful. Moses, tell everybody where they can find you. Are you on Facebook?
We have a little one space on Facebook as Señor Talavera. Even a lot of people make really nice comments on TripAdvisor too with the name of the store on. And I think even online in Google, if you're putting a sign looking for Mexican Talavera in Puerto Vallarta, I got a lot of reviews.
Excellent. All right. Then I will have links to Moses's website, his Facebook page.
Facebook page, Señor Talavera.
Okay, muy bien. All right. Moses, thanks for taking a little time and talking with me today.
It was a pleasure, man. Thank you.
All right. Wasn't Moses great? I have the contact information, including maps for Señor Talavera and pictures of Moises and his shop, so check it all out. And if you don't agree he's the greatest after you go check him out, just tell me. Send me an email. Tell me I'm wrong. Now, I have a really great respect and truly a much better understanding of this beautiful art form of this Talavera pottery. People just go nutso over this stuff. I can see why. So check out those photos, like I said. And I also have a YouTube video that shows people making the Talavera pottery, the process and all that stuff. Very interesting. So really go to my show notes and check it out. Now, my next guest is Sylvie Scopazzo. And as I told you earlier, many people reached out to me and said that I need to get Sylvie on the show, basically, so I could introduce you to her. And the first one was JR. From the very beginning, he said, I need to get Sylvie on the show. And I said, great. You know Sylvie, JR. You tell her. You talk to her. And he did. And then I got emails like this one from Deanna. Sylvie is a jack of all trades. She has lived in Vallarta for over 20 years. She's in a band called the Zippers, who perform at El Rio, Encanto, Por Favor, and at private venues. Discovered and organizes tours up to the Cross on a weekly basis. Studied for her tour guide license. Loves to share her city with vast knowledge of years' experience living in Vallarta. She also organizes LOCA, L-O-C-A, women's only, gatherings and hiking outdoor field trips, and has volunteered on her own to raise money to support needy causes in Vallarta and earthquake victims in other cities. She speaks excellent Spanish. And I'll add some more. She also performs at Captain Don's, takes in stray dogs, and adopted one of her own, belongs to a big motorcycle biking group, attends and participates in all things Vallarta, for example, fundraisers and organizations and people in need, and support and participation in parades and social gatherings for the city, and is an all-around positive person. Barry, now you have more info to add to the mix when you interview Sylvie Scopazzo. Okay, Deanna. I'm not sure I need to say any more. Thanks. So let's go right now to a balcony off of the offices of Vallarta Cowork, not too far from Moises, over there at Senor Talavera, along the River Quale in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And we're going to meet Sylvie Scopazzo from Tours de Jour, Mexico, the Zippers, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So here we go. Sylvie,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Tell my listeners a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what was your path to Puerto Vallarta?
I'm originally from Vancouver, and I've been here 20 years now. I came here sight unseen. Basically, anyone that knows Vancouver, it rains a lot, so I was just, I was ready. I was ready to leave the rain.
You were done with Vancouver. I love Vancouver. It's really pretty.
It's gorgeous, yeah, when it's sunny.
Exactly. All right, so you got here, and what happened?
I got here, I didn't research the place, so of course, after a week of being here and hanging out at the beach, I figured it's time to look for work, and realized, well, minimum wage was 27 pesos a day.
Yeah.
After leaving a $20 an hour job, I thought, oh my God, what did I do? So once I discovered that, after speaking to a guy that was willing to hire me, and he told me it was 27 pesos a day, I thought, okay, I need to regroup. So I went back to the beach, had a few margaritas, thought, okay, I'll deal with this tomorrow. And then I could go on and on about all the different things I did to get me to where I am today,
Yeah.
which will take too long.
Yeah, I understand that. All right, so how does someone like you find a way to make a living and stick around?
Well, I think when I arrived 20 years ago, it was a lot easier. Now there's a whole list of requirements that people need that I'm not really familiar with. All I know is there's a lot of people coming here to move and asking that same question, and I really don't. I mean, there's so many opinions on how that all works. I think the best thing to do is go directly to immigration.
Yeah.
And ask
Yeah.
and get your list. And actually even hire someone, because immigration has a funny way of making you want to come back 500 times. That we all know.
Yeah. Have somebody else do the footwork for you. That's
Yes.
the nice thing when you have an attorney. They have people that do that, and they'll
Yeah.
stand in line all day.
And
for
then you
you
get the green light. They just walk in with your papers, and then, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. You do tours.
Yeah.
I understand that you do a walk to the cross. You do all kinds of tours. Are you a certified tour guide?
Yes. Yeah, I got certified 2 years ago.
Right? Wow. Okay. So
Yeah.
what's involved?
Well, so I had been doing tours for 5 years prior to that. So I was, I guess, a clandestine guide.
Uh-huh.
And mostly because there weren't any courses offered at that time. And then Astrid of Superior Tours, who, wow, she's like this one-woman empire. She was my guru. She gave me a call and said, hey, they're offering a course. You should take it. And so I did. And, it was grueling because it was in Spanish. And I'm fluent, but that's, a whole different language when you're talking about education.
When you're
And
reading too.
so, yeah, so now I'm certified and I can walk around and not, worry about the other guides looking at me.
Yeah. Funny and sideways.
Funny, yeah, exactly.
Are you the only gringa who is a tour guide around here?
There's a lot of tour guides out there, not, maybe not certified federally or legally, but they're doing what I was doing from before.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there's a lot of guides, a lot of women guides out there.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about this tour to the cross. You don't just walk up there. You do other stuff, right?
Yeah, my tour, it's called Power Walk the Hidden Streets of Vallarta. And I have a lot of friends that tell me I should change that name because it scares people off, the word power walk. And I don't power walk it. We go really slow and we have a lot of stops at points of interest. Basically, it is a workout, so I do kind of weed out a lot of people that maybe don't walk on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but yeah, it's up to the cross, but my tour is about the journey there. Because anyone can go to the cross now, and even before. When I started 7 years ago, it was just a cross on a mound. Now it's a big platform viewing spot, and a lot more people can go up there now because they feel safer. And there's a staircase that takes you right up there. We don't go that way. We take the scenic route.
You take the path.
But there's still the hills. It's But I'll have to tell you, my oldest on tour is 83 in the male sector, and then women 77 years old.
Wow.
With bionic parts.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
they all got
knees,
worked on.
hips,
Knees, yeah.
But they make it, so it's not that difficult.
That's impressive. All right, well, then you're not taking up the Stairmaster. You're kind of going around the...
Yeah, we go up the hill. There's a hill, and then we kind of scoot around the stairs and go around the other way.
Yeah. Because you'll find that there are numerous ways to get up to the cross. And,
yes.
It is actually pretty fantastic. With it's a big building. They got a bathroom they're working on up there and stuff.
Oh my God, that's taking forever.
Yeah.
And honestly, the big plan is to have a gondola go up there.
Yeah,
so
I
if
saw
you don't like
the
walking,
rail.
that's going to happen. No, that thing
that's different?
doesn't always work. Plus, there's a hill before you get to that. But the big plan is from Parque Hidalgo, the park downtown. They plan, not sure when, but supposedly a gondola.
How neat.
Yeah.
All right. That would be kind of cool. Very Disneyland like. How about
Very,
that?
yeah.
Welcome to Puerto Vallarta, Disneyland.
Yeah. Let's hope not.
Yeah, I know. Hope not is right. What other tours do you give?
So I also offer tours for women. It's called LOCA, Ladies Outdoor Club Adventures. I started that 5 years ago. And it started off basically with the idea I like to hike and get the local women out there. And besides hanging out on the beach, there's lots to do here, lots to see. And then about 2 years ago, it started kind of expanding to the outside world, which is great.
Yeah.
And today I launched my new calendar, and I'm so excited after 5 years.
I'll link it up. I'll
Ridiculous,
link it up in the
but
show
I
notes.
finally got it done, yeah.
Oh, cool. All right.
And I also offer, so people get confused. They think I only do tours for women, but I actually, Tours de Jour Mexico is my umbrella company. So I do private groups, custom-made tours for a mixed crowd, men and women.
Excellent.
So if you're listening, I do tours with guys in it.
All right, everybody. Look out, guys.
Watch out.
Come on and join in. I was watching some of your Facebook posts, and after the earthquake here in Mexico a couple months back, you headed up a kind of a rescue plan. What did you do? What did you do? You raised money for what?
Well, with LOCA, we often pick a charity to help. And when the earthquake happened in Oaxaca, Gustavo, his name escapes me, but of Casa Cupola. He was the first guy from Vallarta to go down there. And I watched his posts, and I thought, okay, well, let's get on the bandwagon and let's help with supplies at least. So I gathered the locas. We did a donation. Then we went out and bought the supplies and dropped them off at the Plaza Caracol. And then just watching the news and seeing that not all the supplies were getting there, I thought, okay, I don't want to do that anymore. Let's get some, I want to go down there and just hand it personally. So especially after Mexico City was hit, after Oaxaca was forgotten. So, and the little town that I am helping, or we, as in people of Vallarta, is called Unión Hidalgo. So it's a tiny little town that that needs attention.
Yeah.
They're still waiting for the government to help. Yeah.
Well.
So it's everyone in Vallarta. It's an amazing community. It's not just the locas. It's everyone that I've just has responded after posting. And still, to this day, people are donating.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And I love seeing the difference that you make. I get pictures and stuff like that. What was that like? You spent some time like out on cots. And...
It was tough, actually. I guess I didn't know what to expect. And so when I arrived, it was 5 a.m. So I flew into Oaxaca, and just through other friends, I made a contact who I was picked up at the airport and stayed at Santiago's place. Holly Hunter, a friend, connected me with him. He picked me up, gave me a place in his house, and then connected with a woman named Alma, who said, okay, we're getting on the midnight bus. I'm like, okay, let's go. And actually, while I was just resting, it was 10 p.m. at night in Oaxaca City, I got to feel a tremor. That was pretty scary. So I ran downstairs and waited it out. So on the bus we go. Midnight, we get in at 5 a.m, still dark. Next thing you know, I'm being shuffled to this house. Everyone's sleeping outside. And basically they said, there's your cot. You get to sleep there. I'm like, okay. Yeah, it was interesting.
Bienvenidos.
Yeah, and they were so warm and welcoming. And then in the morning, we crossed the street. That's where basically I was fed by Alma's mom, whose house was pretty shaken up.
Yeah.
And but so people sleep outside of their homes because they're too worried that if they feel, because they're constantly getting tremors, if their house isn't stable, that it'll all fall on top of them.
Yeah. And they actually red tag them just like they do in the States. And,
yeah. And lots of people lost everything. They lost their entire house. And then the community kicks in. Some people set up a kitchen, and anyone donating food or the trucks that were coming would send it to them, and they were just feeding people. It seemed like the people that had the most damage gave back the most. It's really interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
It's a big eye-opener.
Yeah, no kidding. You are in a band.
Yes.
And I
love my band.
I love your band, too. Tell us about your band.
Well, we're called the Zippers. You're probably wondering why the Zippers.
I'm wondering why. I want to know.
Okay, so...
Hey, this is a family show, so keep it clean.
Yes, of course.
All right.
I know everyone thinks it has to do something with pants, but it doesn't.
Doesn't, okay.
My guitarist, Jorge, and I worked together way back at one of the zipline tours. And he was the camographer, and I was the manager there. And so when I hired him on, and we started talking about life and music, and he told me he used to play at the Roxy.
Huh?
And I said, well, I have this fantasy idea of being a rock star.
Dallas, Texas, Hollywood. Awesome, now he chased me downtown. I'm just looking for some tunes.
And turns out he hired a guy for his video team, and he was a bass player. And then he hired a drummer that was also a video guy without really knowing that they played. And I said, great, we have a band. Let's just, play around and see what happens. And so originally we started as a trio at Que Pasa, and then we just evolved from there. And so the Zippers, the name came from zip lines. Not the pants.
Not the pants. All right.
It's not
then.
dirty.
All right, everybody. Oh,
there you go.
Could take your hands off of your ears. It's all better now.
Yeah.
So where do you guys play?
So we play Wednesdays at El Rio Barbecue from 4 to 6. I love that gig because it's a beautiful place.
Yeah, it's lovely.
And Thursday nights at Captain Don's from 8 till 11. There's a new noise bylaw, so I'm actually quite happy we're not playing till midnight.
Yeah, no kidding.
And I know a lot of people go to bed by 7 or 9 here, so it works for everybody. And just recently we got hired on to play at the South Side Street Shuffle.
South Side Street
Starting
Shuffle.
today, actually.
Oh, is it really? Where
Tonight.
where is it, like on the street on the south side?
On Basilio Badillo Street.
Yeah.
And we'll be right in front of Cassandra Shaw Jewelry.
Nice. Oh, that's a
Love
good place.
Cassandra. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Cassandra too. Okay, so
And that's just George and I. It's just a duo thing.
okay,
Yeah.
you've also played at Encanto, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
You do like the piano bar thing. You got the
You know,
lounge,
it
lounge
was-
lizard thing going on, or
I liked it because my guitarist couldn't drown me out. Because that's what happens with the band. But so that was fun. Except that it's just in high season or peak season. I shouldn't say high season. Peak season, I was just getting too busy.
yeah.
And too many martinis sent to me, so the morning tours were kind of
Ouch,
difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Encanto's great. Tracy's done amazing stuff over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very comfortable and a nice ambiance.
Yeah. And does it have good
And the
acoustics
sound
for
system,
you?
wow.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, that's what you want. I was with La Tres Cuartos yesterday,
I
and I
love
was
that
asking
band.
them. Yeah, they're hilarious. Do you know that the lead guitarist they pulled off of a bus?
No.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
There's
Waro,
a lot
he
of
says-
talent in Vallarta, I'm
amazing.
telling you.
You know, he said I have 2 cars, and I got on a bus one day, and Luis was there.
Wow.
I thought that was great. That was
Yeah.
a great story.
They're a great band.
Yeah, they are. Anyway, I was talking with them, and I asked them what was their favorite place to play, and none of them would tell me because they didn't want one to get mad at the
Oh,
other.
really?
So I changed it, and I said, "Well, which one has the best view?" And so that worked out.
okay.
Okay.
Oh,
that worked
nice.
Out, okay.
Yeah.
But we already know which one has the best view.
Yes,
Yeah.
that would be El Rio.
Yeah. Now, Captain Don's. That's a great little spot. Tell us about Captain Don's. What's that like?
Captain Don's is fun. I call it, jokingly, I call it a dive bar. And it's a great place to go. It's very, during the day, there's a lot of people there, a lot of expats. At night, I like that there's a mixed crowd, the locals, Mexican people, and foreigners. And the drinks are cheap, well served, by the way. And they finally got their kitchen together. They've got a great chef in there. And I had some hot wings the other day, and delicious.
All
and they
right.
do have the coldest beer in the world, I think.
All right. Note.
Yeah.
Note to everybody. Everybody
You
here
want cheap
likes
cold
the cold
beer.
cerveza.
Yeah, I just plugged Captain Don's. There you go, Berenice.
There you go. Is right. Hey, we got to help each other.
That's
right.
exactly right.
Well, I do ask the questions. I go into the bonus round usually, and I ask, what's your favorite place for dinner, lunch, and breakfast? And people, they have to think, who are
Okay.
they going to piss off? If they
Right.
don't say the right thing. But I'm going to do that anyway.
Okay.
What's your favorite breakfast place?
Favorite breakfast? I switched between Langostinos and Si Senor on the beach.
Ah,
Yeah.
what do you like?
Well, it's on the beach. The two of them are on the beach. Langostinos, the staff in the mornings are great. They see us coming with our dogs, and it's right away. Do you want a dog? Water for your dog, and
Oh,
of
nice.
course. And they have the best bacon. Sorry to all you vegetarians, etc., but
It's okay.
they do something with their bacon that's just different than everyone else.
All
And
right.
and I love Colette. So Colette's, we like to support a restaurant,
Mhm.
but it's also I like it there. It's- and you got a good view of the pier.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. What about lunch?
Lunch, Salud Superfoods.
What do you get?
And Reed and
what do you eat
Will,
there?
love
What do
them.
you eat there?
I always think I'm going to order something different, but I always go for the Thai bowl or the Thai wrap.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's a cold winter, 18 degrees,
Yeah.
I like the lentil soup. Yeah. And, to pretend I'm healthy for a day, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And plus, you know what? A lot of these places have a lot to do with the people that own it. They're there, they're welcoming, and I love Rita and Willie
Yeah.
also. But their food, you go for the food, the food's yummy.
Wonderful. Okay.
Yeah.
Dinner. Hey, don't let me forget, by the way, when you were saying that, eating healthy, I want to talk about gyms here in Puerto Vallarta.
Gyms?
Yeah, gymnasiums, places to
Okay.
work out. So, but let's talk about dinner first before we work
Okay.
off our dinner.
Yeah, right.
What do you like for the final meal of the day?
Final meal, if I have a final meal, I'm a taco stand kind of gal.
Mhm.
But Barracuda
Yeah.
is going to be And next to Barracuda would be Daiquiri Dick's. I just had dinner there the other night. And you can't go wrong there. It's always consistent. The food, the service. And same with Barracuda. They're really good. And their menu's easy. And it's affordable.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gouging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
And you leave full. That's
Yeah.
important to me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
What about hole in the wall? What is your favorite hole in the wall besides Captain Don's?
Well, let's not call Captain
I'm sorry,
Don's a hole in the wall.
I said it wrong. I know that, but you said
I call it a dive bar because
That's
that's
right. Okay,
like
never mind. Yeah, yeah.
That's a kitschy name to say now. A hole in the wall. Gosh.
I mean, you would something that you have just you walk in and it's a huge surprise.
And like the walls have cobwebs and that kind of thing.
No,
and the food's good, or what do you mean?
No,
hole
yeah,
in
it
the
could
wall?
be like food. It could be like an entertainment spot, just a place that's you just walk. It looks like nothing on the outside. You know, and then boom, you're inside, and it's like, whoa, what's that? What happened here?
God, you stumped me on that question.
That's all right. You don't have to answer it.
Let me get back to that.
All right,
I have
all
to
right.
think.
Let's go back. Let's go to the gymnasiums then.
Okay.
You.
Now there's a hole in the wall.
Okay.
This
There we go.
gymnasium.
Where do you like to work out?
I go to Power Fitness.
Okay.
It's nothing fancy. There's no air conditioning, and I like that's close to my house. This is across the island, the Kwale Island.
Yeah.
And I can bring my dog there. He gets leashed outside, and he gets all the people petting him, so it's a win-win. He likes it. I love it. Yeah. Their equipment's, it's not top of the line, but if you like just a non-fancy gym and you're going to work out, not to,
Yeah. It's a good place. It doesn't
Yes.
break. I imagine it doesn't break the bank. I was.
Yeah, no, it's
that's the place
affordable.
It's on
It's-
Achilles Cerdan.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
yeah, I know
like
that one.
it's 400 pesos a month.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very affordable.
And, the owners are great. She's a huge dog or animal rescue person, so
Oh.
you got to support those people too, right? She
Yeah, you
puts
do.
a lot out of her own pocket. So it's good. When you join that membership there, you're helping out the animals that we all like to do here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
If you were going to get out of town for a day, just split, just for a day though.
Just for a day.
Not spending the night anywhere.
Yeah.
Where would you go?
I almost don't want to tell you because all these places are getting overrun by people, but I'm going to have to say Camixto.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Gwen. I shouldn't have said that, but the secret's out. Or
I think it was
Conchas
out.
Beach. Let's get away from...
Okay, so tell us
Craziness.
how do you get to Conchas Beach?
You walk there.
You just
from,
walk around the point there, right?
Los Muertos Beach.
Yeah.
Go past Blue Chairs, Montemar, and all that. Go up that little hill.
Uh-huh.
And they've made a nice path now.
Oh, good.
And the beach is really nice. Yeah, you're not bombarded by a lot of people and so many vendors.
Right.
But you have to bring your own cooler, and if you're a chair, if you like a chair, because there's nothing there but the sand, and it's a gorgeous view. That's volcanic rock there.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah.
If you had a word of advice to a first-time visitor to Puerto Vallarta, what would that be?
As a visitor, okay. Before they get here, or while they're
well,
here?
you could do whatever you like. First-time visitor, you could say, here's what you should do before you go, or you can say, when you're here, this is what you need to do.
Okay. Well, when you're here, look me up for sure.
Absolutely.
I'm kidding.
No.
Just a word of advice to those that are going to rent is just make sure you're dealing with a proper person. There's too many stories of people sending their deposit and then they come here. It's different things. So go
Yeah.
with a reputable company.
Okay.
And or contact me. I can send you people with
You got feet on the
people that I
ground.
know
You got boots
that
on the ground here.
Yeah, the people I know that have been here for years. That I just send anyone looking for something to rent to. I've got a main person that I deal with. I just send it to her, and she's deals with them
Good.
the right way. Yeah.
Good.
Her name is Saskia, by the way. Hey, Saskia.
Hey, Saskia. There you go. You've been
Yeah.
plugged.
I've been plugged. Or you've been.
No,
Oh, yeah,
she-
I plugged
Saskia.
her.
Saskia's
right.
been plugged.
That's good.
All right. So that's great advice.
Yeah. And get out and enjoy Vallarta. There's so much to do. Get out of the bars. Go there's so many hikes to waterfalls. There's take a boat somewhere, a panga, water taxi. They don't have to be the big fancy tours, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's just so much to do here.
Yeah, that's for sure. Hey, you're a member of a motorcycle club here.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about that. You're the only female member of this club, aren't you?
Can you imagine? Yeah, 10 years ago. No, it's going, let me see, probably 12 years ago now. I joined this motorbike club, and they're all scary-looking guys.
Uh-huh.
But a lot of them are professionals. In fact, one is my dentist. Another guy is orthopedic surgeon that just helped a friend just recently. So, they're great. They accepted me with open arms and finally baptized me last year. That was fun.
How'd that go?
Yeah, it was very cold and wet. Lots of beer
a beer.
and ice, buckets of ice thrown at me and etc.
Yeah, the ice bucket challenge.
Yeah. And joining them was the best thing because I've gotten to see many incredible places in Mexico. We go to the events, like Zacatecas being one was incredible.
Yeah.
Then there's the events in Mazatlan, and so I got to see a lot with these guys.
They go out, you guys go out often?
Yeah, every other month there's an event somewhere. I'm just waiting out till it warms up a bit. Like there's a big one coming up in Osteotipaquillo, which is where every biker from all over Mexico goes to get christened by the priest.
Really?
Yeah, he throws water on you and a miracle happens.
Right, you don't fall. You don't break anything.
Yeah, so, but it's too cold. We're getting a really cold winter this year, so I'm going to skip that one.
It's even chilly down here.
Yeah.
The locals are all bundled up.
I know. I got my hoodie on 24/7 almost.
Oh, man, you guys don't know cold.
Yeah.
Is there anything that I'm missing in this conversation? Is there something that you want to add that we haven't talked about yet?
Well, I have, it's actually not so much happening now where there's issue with the safety in Mexico. And all I know is for Puerto Vallarta, it's a safe place to be. And, just come down, enjoy it. Look at this view that we have. Palm trees, blue sky.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and it's not, negative 30 and stuff like that.
No, exactly.
It's really nice.
We're cold at 18 Celsius, which is summer in Vancouver, but it's a gorgeous place. Been here 20 years, not one regret.
How do people get a hold of you? How can they take your tours?
They can. I don't know. Are you providing a link or anything?
I'm going to link it all up, but it is an audio show, and
okay, right.
we're allowing them to listen to it too.
Okay, so I can just say my email.
No, don't do your email. You're on Facebook, right?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. Tours de Jour Mexico.
Bingo. Yeah.
Or Ladies Outdoor Club Adventures. Okay. Or Power Walk the Hidden Streets of Vallarta. But basically, if you contact me through Tours de Jour Mexico, you'll find me.
Excellent. Okay, so I'll have all the links for those in the show notes. I'll have a picture of Sylvie if she holds still and lets me take a shot of her.
Are you going to take a shot now?
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Or you can send me one if you want.
I'll send you one.
All right. That's cool. And she'll send me some pictures of her Lady Locas, and she'll send me some stuff so you guys get an idea of the kind of tours that she takes and all that stuff, and pretty pictures that'll make the blog posts look nice too.
Oh yeah, there's lots of pretty pictures.
Yeah, we want that.
And I work. My groups are small, so like 8 to 10 people.
Yeah. You get the personal service, and not only that, you guys, but you get the only female motorcycle rider in a bike gang here. A bike club here in Puerto Vallarta.
There's a few clubs out there, but yeah, and anyways, I'm proud to be an Ovejas Negra.
Yeah.
Black sheep.
You're the black sheep.
Well, that's what our club's called.
Oh, you are the black sheep. All of you
69,
is. Very nice.
There you go.
Well, Sylvie, I have to say it's been really nice talking to you, and I have to thank you so much for coming on and taking the time out of your day and letting me introduce you to my listeners.
Thank you. It wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be.
I told you it was going to be easy. Thanks again.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you, Sylvie. Sylvie is a real treasure. She's very soft-spoken, but she is a giant here in Puerto Vallarta. I told you that I'd be introducing you to people that I think that you ought to meet, people that are going to be people that you can trust, and Sylvie is one of those people. If you're looking for a good time when you're in Puerto Vallarta, then you need to stalk her. No, I'm kidding. No, really. Go see the Zippers. I have contact information there for the Zippers, so you can see where they're going to be playing, and they play all the time. They're always playing somewhere. And I'm going to give you the information for Tours de Jour Mexico, so that you can go take a tour up to maybe one of those tours up to the Cross, or one of the really cool other tours that she takes, one-of-a-kind tours that you're not going to get from anybody else, custom designed for you, and for great adventure here in our beautiful paradise in Puerto Vallarta. So that should do it for this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. Next week, please stay tuned for more on-the-ground reports from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, with travel tips, great restaurant and excursion ideas, and more. But until then, remember this is an interactive show where I depend on your suggestions about all things Puerto Vallarta. If you think of something that I should be talking about, please reach out to me by clicking on the Contact Us tab and sending off your message, kind of like Deanna and Patty did, right? And remember, if you're considering booking any type of tour while you're in Puerto Vallarta, you must go to vallartainfo.com, that's JR's website, and reserve your tour through him right from his website. Remember, this is a value-for-value proposition, my friends. JR's experience and on-the-ground knowledge of everything Puerto Vallarta in exchange for your making a purchase of a tour that you do anyway. You're just doing it through him as a way of saying, thank you. Thanks, JR, for being our guide. It costs no more than if you're going to be using someone else, so just do it, really. And when you do take one of those tours, email me about your experiences. Maybe you can come on board and share with others what you liked or didn't like about the tour. Again, contact me by clicking on the Contact Us tab and sending off a message. And don't forget, he has his maps, his DIY tours, his revitalized happy hour board. It's all there at vallartainfo.com, so don't miss it. Check it out. The links are in my show notes, too. And once again, if you like this podcast, take the time, please, and subscribe and give me a good review on iTunes, if you would. That way we can get the word out to more and more people about the magic of this place, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And remember, it's easy to do that. With each episode that I create, I make a page with links and pictures and all kinds of interesting stuff right there in the show notes for each blog that I create. So get out there if you haven't already. Go check out that website. All right? Okay. All right. Now, thanks to Moises from Señor Talavera, and thanks to you, Sylvie Scopazzo. You are one of a kind. We love you here in Vallarta. I have all of her contact information and all right there in the show notes for this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show at www.puertovallartatravelshow.com. I have Moises' stuff there too. Check out the photos of Sylvie's adventures, of her tours, of her band, and contact her, really, when you're planning your next Puerto Vallarta vacation, okay? All right, well, thanks to all of you for listening all the way through this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. This is Barry Kessler signing off with a wish for all of you to slow down, be kind, and live Vallarta lifestyle. Nos vemos, amigos.
Samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de amor junto al mar. Solo camino, eterno por la playa, encuentro junto al río, cuando todo está en calma, pronto cae la noche, me brillas Puerto Vallarta, samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de arrullo en el mar, samba de Puerto Vallarta.